Question number 12. Some people get used to changes very easily than others do. So is it a correct statement? Let us see the first part. Some people get, there seems to be no change required because no action can be seen in that. Now let us see the second part. Used to changes. That means used to the change that is taking place. Here too, no change is required. And in third part, that is option C, very easily than others do. So is it very easily than others do, or it is to be replaced with some other word? So instead of saying very easily than, we can say it as more easily than others do. So the entire statement should be like this. Some people get used to changes more easily than others do. Hence, option C requires some sort of change where very should be replaced with more, so that this makes the sentence meaningful. Now let us go to the next question, that is 13. When the college was established, he was yet practicing law. Is it correct? So let us see the first part of the statement. When the college was established, that means when the college was started. Then he was, here too no change required. Third part, yet practicing law. Is it yet practicing law or still practicing law? Okay, so still practicing law, trying to convey that still under practice, and yet practicing law means yet to practice or yet to start. Okay, so when the college was established, he was still practicing law means still under the process of learning law. Okay, now let us move to question number 14. Mine may not be a story of success, but failures keep a person live. Is there any correction required in this? Mine may not be a. There seems to be no correction required as the adequate article is available in this, and story of success. Here too, no change required, but failures keep a person live. If we see closely, what should come in the place of a person live? But failures keep a person live or alive. So that should be the logical thinking. So obviously, person live should be replaced by person alive. Hence, the statement should read like this. Mine may not be a story of success, but failures keep a person alive. So that should be the correct statement. Now let us move to question number 15. Mahabharata contains veritable wealth of material for deep study and research, but all mankind in today's strife-torn world. So is there any correction required? Let us see the first part. Mahabharata contains veritable wealth. There seems to be no change required in the first part. Of material for deep study and research. Mahabharata contains veritable wealth of material for deep study and research, but all mankind in today's strife-torn world. So if you see the first part of the statement, Mahabharata contains veritable wealth. So is there any article required in this? Yes. So instead of saying Mahabharata contains veritable wealth, the article A should be added as prefix to veritable. So the correction is required in first part of the sentence. So Mahabharata contains a veritable wealth will be the correct way of expression rather than Mahabharata contains veritable wealth. Now let us move to question number 16. He drank once again as he was feeling thirsty. Is there any correction required in this? He drank once again as he was feeling thirsty. The first part, if you see, he drank once again, yes, a repeated practice once again as he was feeling thirsty. So neither in second part nor in third part we can see any error. So he drank once again as he was feeling thirsty is a correct statement and no change is required in this. Now let us move to question number 17. Bacteria is probably the most common form of life on earth. Whether any change is required in this? Bacteria is probably the most common form of life on earth. So you cannot group it as a single thing in the first part. So instead of saying bacteria is probably, it should be bacteria or probably the most common form of life on earth, rather than saying bacteria is probably the most common. So the correction required is in the first part, that is part A. So it should be replaced by R. Now let us move to the question number 18. While going through the report yesterday, I find several factual mistakes. So if you see the first part, while going through the process, yes, there is no correction required. Through the report, here too, no correction is required. Now let us see the third part. Yesterday I find. So when it is yesterday, it is past tense. So instead of yesterday I find, it should have been yesterday I found several factual mistakes. So the correction is required in part C, where find has to be replaced with found. Now let us move to question number 19. On reaching the railway station, he was disappointed to learn that the train left. So is it the correct statement? On reaching the railway station, the first part, is there any correction required? It seems there is no correction required. Let us see the second part. He was disappointed to learn. Here too, no correction is required as the statement is clear. Then let us see the third part, that the train left. So here some sort of change is required. So shall we say it as that the train left or that the train had left? Because the train has already left. So here the statement should be like this. On reaching the railway station, he was disappointed to learn that the train had left. So the correction should be on the third part, where that the train left should be replaced with that the train had left. Now let us move to question number 20. It is high time that we send the answer. Is there any correction required here? It is high time that we send the answer. If you see the first statement, it is high time. That means it is already over or the time has lapsed. So we are talking about the past. That we send the answer. Is it that we send the answer or that we sent the answer? So the correction should be on the second part, that is part B. Send should be replaced by sent. So the statement will read like this. It is high time that we sent the answer. Now let us move to question number 21. The presumption that the average investor did not understand or take interest in the affairs of the company. Is there any correction required? Let us see the first part. The presumption that the average investor did not understand. There seems to be no change required in this. And let us see the second part. Or take interest in the affairs. So here it is either or take interest in the affairs of the company. So that means or take interest in the affairs of the company is not correct. So neither in second part nor in third part we can see any error, and obviously option D will be the correct option, that is no error in this statement. Now let us move to question number 22. The two last chapters of the book are very interesting. Is there any correction required in this? Let us see the first part. The two last. Is it correct? What should come first and what should come next? That is what we need to think. So instead of saying the two last chapters, it should be the last two chapters of the book which are very interesting or very interesting. Okay, so the correction is required in first part, where the two last should be interchanged as the last two. So the right choice would be option A. Now let us move to next question, question number 23. Passengers should be prohibited to smoke in the trains and buses. Is there any correction required in this? Passengers should be prohibited. So in first part there seems to be no correction required. But when we see the second part, to smoke in the trains and buses, is it correct? Passengers should be prohibited to smoke in the trains and buses. Is it clear? It should be passengers should be prohibited from smoking in the trains and buses. Rather than saying to smoke, it should be from smoking. So the correction is required in second part, that is to smoke should be replaced with from smoking in the trains and buses.